Okay, so I just noticed, and this is part of the problem with dealing with stuff from nature, but look at this bag right here. See these little white, oop, see those little white things? Those are pain in the butts. I don't know what they're actually called, but a lot of times if you go to grow a nut or check out a nut, there's a hole in them. That is what caused the hole, which means your nut's junk. So because that is disgusting, we have to figure out something to do with the nuts. So one thing you can do to find out if your nut is good, I seen this on the internet a while back, is do a float test. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a float test and see if any of those little are in there. So we got our Tupperware bowl. We're gonna fill it with water. We got it filled with water. So what I'm gonna do, let me close the fridge. It's already cold enough in here. Our furnace broke 4 days ago, so we don't have any heat. So it's like 50 degrees in our house. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this bag and I'm gonna dump it in there and see which ones sink and which ones float. I did notice the other day when I looked at them that there was a hole in one of them, and I thought, you know, son of a gun, this isn't gonna be good, and this is disgusting, because that's our real fridge that we have in our house, as you can see. So hopefully these little stinkers aren't in our pumpkin pie that was in there. Here's one right here. This one I'm just gonna throw away because there's a hole in it. See that hole right there? That's where them little fat white guys just went in. So let's just, for fun, see if it floats or sinks. Oh, it's sunk, so it must not, they must not have ate. What happens is they go in there and then they eat all the nut out of the shell, and then it sinks. I'm gonna throw it in the trash, but I'm gonna go through that, do that one by one, and kind of inspect it, see if there's a hole in it, and see if it sinks. So that's what I'm gonna do for the next little bit, okay? So you grab a nut, you look at it, see if there's a hole in it, see if there's a hole in it, then drop it in the water. And then if they sink, I'm just gonna put them in these bags with a wet paper towel. Yeah, so here's a perfect example of what you have going on here. Those fat little, see how there's 2 of them? Them 2 little fat white wormy things probably just ate their way through this nut. So we'll see if it sinks. See how that one floats? That one more than likely won't sprout at all because the nut is gone in it, or the nut's junk. So we're not even gonna waste our time with that one. But we're gonna drop this fat one in there and see how it floats? That means there's no nut in there. It's hollow, and them little fatties ate all the nut out of it. That's one thing when you grow chestnuts, you gotta make sure you take care of them little suckers so that they don't eat all your nuts. They've probably been in heaven in that bag. They didn't have to go very far to go from one nut to the other. I'm gonna get sorting these nuts here. Yeah, so here's another one where one of those fatties probably went in this side and ate their fat little way all the way through this side and came out this end. So, and then what they do is they lay eggs in there, and then more of the little fatties crawl out and go into the other nuts. And I believe the little wormy guys, they live in the ground, so when the nut sometimes falls off and they come up out of the ground, they eat their way into the nut and then they lay the eggs. So it's kind of a bummer. So out of all those nuts, we got rid of 4 with holes in them. There's all these sinkers and these floaters. Just for fun, I'm gonna put all the floaters in a bag and see if any of them sprout, because those ones don't have any holes in them. And then I will put the sinkers in a different bag. And I got another bag of chestnuts I'm gonna do the same thing with, because I'm pretty positive there's probably gonna be one of those little white fatties in that one too. So, but we'll dispose of them little wormy guys. Okay, so we're done sorting and washing our nuts. We got the sinkers and the floaters. These are all the sinkers. These ones were the floaters. So I'm gonna put, because there's so many of them, I'm just gonna put all of these sinkers in this one. There's some jumbo chestnuts, but there were more. These are the large chestnuts. There's more of those. These are the only 2 jumbos that were floaters. Pretty good thing. There were no holes in our nuts or worms in the jumbos. So I guess if I learned anything, maybe we should just buy jumbos next time. We'll put them in the bag and then put them back in the fridge, and now we're worm-free, hole-free, you know, and some nice, good, clean nuts. If you enjoyed what you see today, go ahead and subscribe. You can click the button right here. If you enjoyed the video, got a chuckle out of it, make sure you hit a thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up if you thought it was useful. If you're interested in growing nuts, leave us a comment down below and maybe we can exchange information and keep track of how each other's nuts are doing. Thanks for watching.